it's like Kimora.
Hey guys, it's Maria. Welcome to my channel where I discuss all things life. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're wondering why I'm in my car, I'm just always in my car. So I feel like, why not just film content from my car? It just makes it easier for me and it helps me stay consistent with putting out content. So you guys, today I want to talk about just finances, and not really finances. I'm not a financial advisor, so we're not going to go into finances like that. I'm going to go into what I wish someone would have told me when I was young. When I was a young adult and I was in college and they were just handing out credit cards like it was nobody's business. First of all, why are y'all giving college students credit cards? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, huh? Why are you doing that? We ain't got no jobs. We ain't got no jobs. So you shouldn't be extending me credit because I ain't got nothing. I don't even know if I got the money to pay you back. So why you give me a credit card? But that's really what we have it on campus. They would have these little things set up. I think one credit card I had was like, if you apply for the credit card, you get like a little basketball hoop that you could put in your dorm. And like, you know, you had the guys come over or whatever, they hanging out, they'd be playing with that joint. So I was like, oh, I want that. Let me file for this credit card. Boom. Of course, you're going to start using the credit card. And then, you know, you start swiping and you ain't got the money to pay it back. And next thing you know, you done jack your credit up. But one thing I wish someone would have told me, because we all know young adults, they're going to eventually get credit cards. And if you're like me, maybe your parents didn't talk to you that much about finances and how to navigate credit and checking accounts and things like that. What I wish someone would have told me was, first of all, you don't even need a credit card. If you can't afford to get it, you don't need it. But I understand sometimes you got to do what you got to do. People need to rely on credit to just get them, to help them over a hump, or to help the cushion of, or the burden of not having, access to money all the time. So, okay, so we know we got to just get out of the way. The young adults are probably going to get a credit card because I did it. I don't know if you did it or not, but I'm assuming you might have done it too in your young age, like 19, 20, 21, under 25, right? What I wish someone would have told me was, hey, go ahead and set up your monthly payment to be taken out automatically. And I think at that point I had like a $250 credit card and a $300 credit card and maybe a $500 credit card. So I believe the monthly payment, minimum monthly payment, would have probably been $25. Now, if you set that up, and if we tell our young adults, go ahead and set that up to be taken out automatically so that it doesn't ding your credit. Because I'd rather, okay, say, well, I don't always have the money to pay it, and this, that. Okay, but go ahead and set it up and let your checking account possibly go in the negative if you don't have it, and you can just have a couple of days to figure that out, opposed to them dinging your credit, because it's so hard once you jack your credit up. It is so hard. Even though they say credit is like the easiest thing to get your credit score back up, they say that, but when you're in your 20s and you're trying to figure it out, you don't really know much about finance or financial literacy and how to navigate those things. To me, it's so hard to get your credit back on track, you know? And when you're younger, like a young adult, they're gonna be calling you. The collector's gonna be calling you, trying to get you to pay. You feel embarrassed or ashamed. You don't answer the phone, or you're just young and irresponsible, not answering the phone, and so they're dinging your credit. You know, I think when I worked at the bank, I know we would. I remember everybody always thought it was like a 30-day, like, oh, if you go 30 days past, they're gonna ding your credit. I think we actually gave. I'm not gonna say what bank I worked for, but I think it was really 45 days until we dinged their credit, but they were just so paranoid that, because they like, oh, 30 days and we get my credit dinged up or whatever. So every 30 days, you know, you have you run the risk of having your credit dinged if you're not paying those payments. But if you set up an automatic payment, have it automatically deducted from your checking account. When your checking account goes in negative, you might get that fee. You know, you got to take care of that fee, but it just makes it just automated for you, so that you can improve your credit. So, okay, at least I know I got my credit card set up to be withdrawn monthly, and I can figure everything else out if you need to, because some of y'all got the money to pay it. Okay, cool. But just set up that automatic payment so you don't run the risk of jacking up your credit at a young age. You know, I think that's just something so simple that people can do, that you don't even think about. Like, I have a family member, and I was, talking to my my aunt, and she was telling me about one of my cousins who they have a credit card, and I'm like, hey, just tell her to set it up. She's young. I'm like, hey, just tell her to set up automatic payment. Just because the worst case scenario, you can just go borrow the money from someone, but at least they're not jacking up your credit. Because that way, if you start jacking up your credit, you won't be able to get your own apartments in your own name. You'll be having to rely on other people to co-sign things for you. Which I'm going to just keep it real with you. No one wants to co-sign anything for you. Not even your mother, not even your father. You don't want no guy having to co-sign anything for you. It makes you feel empowered to be able to do things on your own. So no one wants to co-sign anything for you, and they're not gonna tell you. They probably just avoid you, or maybe some people will do it and not really want to do it just to help you out. But mostly, when people need a co-signer, that's a red flag to us, because it's like, oh, either you're young and you don't have enough credit established to get anything on your own, or is you done already jacked your credit up and now you're looking for somebody else to co-sign with you, but you just gonna jack us up. Because if you have a pattern of not paying your creditors, then that's your pattern, that's your MO. And so most people are like, I don't want to be, no, we're not gonna do the co-sign thing, but you don't want that anyway. So if you neglect your credit, if you don't, you let them ding your credit because you're not paying it on time, you're going to get co-signers. That stuff can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. You're not going to be able to get cars on your own, apartments on your own. You might end up, it's just, so then that bank, you have a record with that bank. So when you get older, you're really established and you have the money to finally pay your bills on time, then you'll be applying for credit cards. You'll be like, well, I keep getting denied because you have a bad history with that company and it's still in their file somewhere. You have a bad history with them. You have a bad record with them because they even though you might pay, and say your payment's due on the 1st, but you pay like the 5th or the 6th. They give you a grace period, but you pay like the 5th or the 6th. They'll still have slow pay on your account. So they might not ding your credit till after 30 days late, but they'll still have slow pay under your account. And so it's just, you're messing up your history with them. So my advice, and what I would have told my younger self, or what I would have wanted someone to tell me, was, hey sis, go ahead and put those credit card payments on automatic pay, to at least pay the minimum monthly payment, and then figure everything else out. All right, so that's just my tidbit today. That was just something that's heavy on my heart. Did someone tell you that at a young age? Like when you were young, okay, put in the comments, when you were younger, you were a young adult navigating through life. Because I'm assuming, I don't know why, because my daughter, she's like, I love your content, but I'm like, girl, I'm your mom. But I'm assuming my audience might be a little older, because I'm a little older and I'm talking about grown woman things. But if you can help, someone in the comments with some advice, when you were a young adult, if you were in college or just young adult period working, were you getting credit cards and when you felt like, man, I shouldn't be, even though the limit wasn't that much, it's like, I ain't really got no steady income for y'all to be giving me this, but okay, I'm gonna take it, because you need credit cards for rental cars, for hotels, Airbnbs, like because nowadays they're doing the Afterpay and Klarna, but you still can't I can't go get a rental car, or I can't go get my, my airline tickets with Afterpay and Klarna. You know what I mean? So you need a credit card at times, and you don't want to ever be restricted because you done jacked your credit up in your late teens, early 20s because you were not financially responsible. So please, viewers, if you have had issues, or how did you navigate as a young adult with credit? And what advice would you give someone who is navigating it currently? Because we need to help the young kids. So I don't want y'all to make the same mistakes we did. I want y'all to do better than us. It just makes my heart smile when I see my daughter thriving. But I see my son having the knowledge, and we're having the conversations that I didn't necessarily have with my parents, growing up. Because I want to put y'all in a position to do way better than me and your father, So if you can help someone below with some piece of advice in the comments, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to be reading them, just so I can have more advice to give others. So I love you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, comment. And I'll see y'all next time. Rush, baby, just like come over.